is up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Durable by Design. I am here with Chris B. Barnett, Internet's boyfriend. I am Bolo MD. What up?
What's up? He's Dr. Nuts.
I'm Dr. Bolo. and Chris, something's wrong with you. We do have a special announcement we'll make at the end about how much we like nuts, and that's what he's talking about.
That's right.
Crispy, what are we here to talk about today?
We are here to talk about WTF Framework. So how we approach our campaigns, whether it's in-person events, digital events, anything, and the framework and methodology that powers the execution of those.
Yeah. Okay, so this is actually really easy, pretty simple. I think we make it a lot more complicated than it should be, and that is simple. It is, we're gonna call it the WTF framework, and it's a very simple framework. But with all good frameworks and all simple things, it sits in the context in the world we live in today. So one example would be, and this WTF framework that we have is both for virtual events and in-person events. So it's both in-person and it's with virtual, and it's the WTF framework. One of these is, I think that it sits in, is the idea and the premise, and this is like premise number one. This is like a premise of this framework is, and you can react to these premises as we do in Crispy. Premise number one is that events are never lead capture. Events are not lead capture. And what they are is touch points in a point in time that create experiences and creates intimacy and familiarization with the brand. So that's premise number one. The reason that premise is true is because everyone's nonlinear. I mean, HubSpot hilariously calls it the loop at this point, but it's actually called, events are not, they call it the loop. It's a flywheel, and you don't know when you're hitting them at any point in time. And you want it to, that's what the loop's trying to communicate, is that you will communicate with people over time, many times before, or maybe they may never become a customer, so I don't even like calling it the loop. It's a flywheel, and you're a planet and you create gravity. So premise number two is events exist to create gravity around a brand. So this is premise two, is it's all about gravity, and gravity is how many people. And if you think about gravity, what we don't do is what an event is never meant to teach people what your software does. An event is to make people want to know what your software does. And it sounds similar, like different. That is the core difference between marketing and sales. Sales teaches people what your product does, and there's experiences in that. Sales teaches you what product does because there's a certain value. Marketing makes you want to know it makes you actually want to ask the question, what does your product do? That's the core difference in marketing. All this other stuff, and I think we just forget that. So,
yeah. I think there's a premise and there's a tenant that's tied to it as well. In the sense of premise two was events exist to create gravity. The tenant is don't optimize for demos.
Yes, do not optimize for demos. So thus, don't optimize for demos. Events exist to create gravity. And you could say the summary point of a lot of these this is the manifesto that marketing should never optimize for demos or MQLs. It's a demo and an MQL are the same thing. It could be lead capture, she should never. Okay.
Yeah.
I put this premise. I'm making up a premise at this point. Premise number three is waterfall math destroys marketing. Waterfall math destroys marketing. So anytime, or you might say it differently, attribution is the last thing you do for marketing. So this is why I say waterfall math destroys. Oh my gosh. I like this. This is better. Waterfall math destroys marketing. So why do I say this? Is waterfall math exists under the premise of one, which is you have some kind of a lead capture that can do it. It exists under the premise two, that there's like a point in time, and it's not this gravity, but it's a point in time. And and it's non-linear. And so because this premise three is, so what happens is people do waterfall math, and that's how things are justified. Marketing costs money. And if I'm going to invest $300,000 into an event, I need to get a certain ROI. I need 3x the ROI or 5x the ROI of whatever I spend. And thus, if I need that much money, it's simple math. I need X amount of people to talk to and scan this many times. And from those scans, I need this many demos created. And from those demos, I need this many closed. And from these closed, I'll then pay for it. That leads to optimizing, which is the whole reason, the whole thing of this manifesto is do not optimize for demos. Do not optimize for demos. This is the WTF framework. Fundamentally is do not optimize for demos.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like the world we live in. This is the field we play in. And if you don't recognize this, the WTF framework just doesn't matter. This is why we're starting this way.
Yeah, I like the waterfall math concept because it's very easy to build some level of I'll use the naughty word, which is attribution, in the sense of like I need to recover this amount of revenue in order to fully pay for this event and whatnot, and it's all built upon arbitrary numbers over a set amount of time. That's like a time frame that you pull out of your ass is what it means. I need to close.
I just had a demo with someone that said, like, when did you first see us? Like, oh, I am here because I didn't go to inbound 25, but I went to inbound 24 and I saw y'all then. And I think it's about time I finally talked to you. I'm like, what?
It's gravity.
Yeah, that was more than a year ago.
Yeah.
Yes. More than a year ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is just getting us. There's a whole lot more we can talk about here, but let's say, okay, let's pretend this is a reality where, I think I can make some more premises that the sixth zone that we've done in the previous things, like people don't buy with logic, they buy on emotions. Right? This is a really big one. Thus, you should optimize for experience. So this gets us to the WTF framework. The WTF framework, just what it forces is it forces us to optimize for experience over demos. And it's not that we shouldn't think about attribution. It's not that you shouldn't do it. It just happens, but when you do it well. So the question isn't, did we get ROI from that? The question is, if we do marketing well, we get ROI from that.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, I'm going to pull it now. It's, oh, we need to fundamentally, we're doing something wrong. We're giving the wrong experience, because when it's done well, it will result in these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it forces it at the end.
Yeah, I think it gets treated a lot like digital ads, which is like very interesting, where it's very much I'm going to dump this amount of money into it, and if I don't see this amount of revenue in this time frame, then I'm going to like extract that and never do it again. It gets viewed as this like toxic thing, as a transaction or a bet. It's almost like you're playing Blackjack, where it's like, I'm going to throw this down, take a bet, and then see if it works. And that's like just not how you go and like make money. And so it's very much the creation of gravity has long-term impact on making it easier to generate future opportunity. Number one, because you build that credibility and that inevitability in your ecosystem. Number two is, I think one of the value points that we gain from it that's not solely focused on revenue is other people want to do things with us. Like other companies want to do things with us, which is like more like gravity that we experience from others that want to do things. Like After Party at Inbound is a great example. Like we had 5 companies there that had like presences because they actively sought us out and say, hey, we want to be part of what you're doing. Like we feel your gravity. Can we help enforce more of that and show more of that gravity to our networks? And so other value point that's like a long lasting one is gravity compounds and expands as you create it.
Yes, it gets stronger. And so where you might have been a moon, you turn into a planet, and then planets have moons. You may get more moons, then you may get just like there's a reality like this. I like this concept of there's things that rotate around you in an ecosystem, and how big you are that determines your trajectory and your orbit, and your job is to become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's those things start to orbit around you.
Yes. Right? Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so this is not the planetary explanation of marketing. This is the WTF framework. So I'll go very quickly on this. So if you get these premises, the rest of this is just so simple. Yeah, so simple. So WTF framework is simply this. You want people to say this. The point of any event is to make people say, "What the heck is happening over there?"
Yes.
It's so simple. It's so weird, but it's so simple. Is what the heck's happening over there? And so the way I like to break this up is into these pillars. So pillar one is from far away. Someone should say, "I don't know what's happening over there, but it kind of like I can't stop staring." I didn't say it looks cool. I didn't say it's awesome. It's just like I can't stop staring. Right. That's a different concept, and it works because marketing, there's a lot of creativity that can fit within that. Mm-hmm. So from a far away. Now, number two is when I get up close, I say, "I can't believe they just did that to me. I can't believe this just happened right in front of me." So you have what's happening over there, and then you go, "What?"
So give examples from inbound from the past year as you go through these, because these are like really good ones.
Well, I was gonna put them together because there's pillar three. It's so simple.
Yeah.
Pillar three is there must be a theme. Well, it's like, what do you mean? There must be a theme, and everything and every decision's made is based on that theme. And number four is everyone has a uniform from head to toe. Okay, so 4 pillars. So what does this look like? Let's do our inbound. Far away. From far away, we had this really pink, vibrant. We literally bought giant Legos. We spray painted them our colors, and we built a Lego stand. We had this giant thing that we said we had. We had everybody dressed in the same stuff. We had more people. We had a double-sided booth. We had like stuff at the top. We had a Lego building session with like mini figs that you could build yourself. So all this, there's just like people would look from far away and they're like, "Y'all just look like there's this level of just activity that if you looked at anyone beside us, there's other people literally on their cell phones."
Yeah, honestly.
I don't know how to put it. So it's all kind of
yeah.
So that's just like far away. Close up, we had because we had these like hats. We had like minifigs on our head, and you would look at us, and we had these glasses, and they would be like, "Is that a minifig on your head?" You're like, "Yeah, what about it?" And it's just like, "Are you serious?" You're like, "What are you talking about?" Like there's just like weird. It's just I can't believe this is happening in front of me, and it's kind of cool, and it's those like it just kind of all happened. Everyone's okay. So then you get to number 4. There's this theme. We had Lego themes every day. We had different stuff we were all dressed up in that mattered. So there's just like theme, and everybody's literally people are coming back to see what our theme was going to be. And then last, number 4 is from head to toe. We had outfits. So we had hats every day. We had glasses. We had shirts. Sometimes we had jackets and shirts. We had pants. We had socks we were given, and we had shoes every single day. And then pillar 5, sorry that I just missed for people. And the booth is not the event. So an event occurs from the moment you leave your house to the moment you get back in your house. Like, what? Matt, did you really make people wear something to the airport? Yes. In fact, we had people shoot videos while they're walking to the airport. Like there's this, if you start thinking about it's all about the experience, like stuff just starts to, you're like, "Oh, you're right. Oh, yes." People knew Super was there. We got stocked in the airports before we came. People are like, we got HubSpot like, "Oh yeah, are y'all those pink people?" It's yeah. People literally ask me, it's like, "I don't know what you are. Can I guess?" "I think you're an energy drink. You're an energy drink, aren't you?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, but yes."
Yeah.
Okay, so like WTF framework, this works for any company, anywhere, selling anything, doing anything, just make. So, and I'm gonna leave people with this. Because Chris, when you first came here, you said this. I'm just gonna leave people with this. It is we need to get people to understand what Super does. And I said, what are you talking about? No, we don't. What matters is we get people to say, I want to know what Super does. And it is true that we should eventually get get that better over time. But where does our priority always go? Never on the demo. Never on getting the demo. We optimize for experiences, and the demos just happen.
Yep.
And that's how and you're like, what? Like, yeah, people book on our website, and it's gotten better over time. But sometimes you're like, what do we do? We're like, we help you win. You want to have fun? Come talk to me.
Yeah. It was weird to see. I mean, especially this year, because it was just so. I mean, going back to the space analogies, we had an astronomical jump in demos this year because we focused so much around the experience, from like the moment we left our houses up until the culminating event being inbound. And so it was like it worked, and we didn't optimize for demos, and we got 230.
Yeah. To put it, because we to put it in context. We had roles of like Crispy knew he was running the floor, and he knew that he was the person who was going to okay, how are we going to get demos? He knew he had that logistics. He planned that the day before.
Yep.
Or maybe on the fly, but he planned. We didn't spend very much time on how we were going to do the demos. That was not the primary. The thought was, how will people feel when it was just a different thought. Like we're not optimized around demos. We said, we're going to try this little thing. And we know that whatever we do the first half of the day, we're going to switch because it's all going to be wrong. Because if you optimize for experiences, you literally have to change based on how people are experiencing you.
Yeah. One of the things that I really liked about how we approached this as well was the idea of the culminating event, which was not the booth, kind of like what you said. As an example, we had like our big after party, and that was the most sought after experience at Inbound.
Dude, like I keep forgetting TENANT Pillar 6, which is everything. Like it's not an event; everything culminates. And if you have an event, you have it like things always must culminate. Everything must culminate, if there's no culmination point, it's very it'll lose steam.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that was one of the greatest things, because it allowed us to, again, we weren't optimizing for demos, but we were optimizing for experience. And even before inbound, we were able to recognize revenue and like kick off experiences with people before we were even on site, because we created that ability to culminate like an experience ahead of time. And so that's why 10% of the entire like inbound conference was registering for our event, which is like wild. And so I like the idea, and I use that term a lot now. It's like the culminating moment or culminating event is this. And we design the experience around getting to there. Like that concept is brilliant.
Yes, this is our longest Dribble Design podcast. Yet we're gonna the big thing that we're announcing, and as we come to the end, WTF framework, it works. You have a bunch of premises. And pillars that go with it is it works. And you can take these same premises. We have WTF framework. This is how we create events and experiences. It's the same way we literally, these same premises create other frameworks. And one of them is we have one called a network, and we run our company and our marketing department on a network. So much so, and we're getting tired, like we're creating a network. It's called, what's it called?
Let me type it out.
I forgot what it's called.
It's an acronym, but forgot what the because we just literally just said
like BSTN or something.
Yeah, but it stands for something. Hang on, I can find it.
Oh, best software. It's best SaaS tech or best software tech network. Clearly. And so we are best in class. So it's called it's BSTN. It'll be launching on the 16th. Best Software Tech Network. We'll be launching it, and it's going to be ESPN-like. We'll have 3 different shows to start off with. We're going to have panelists and people, and it will have commercials, and they will be fun. And we're going to run our marketing with all the stuff just like we run a regular network.